working together is gonna be legend. Wait for it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Hamilton, and this is the room where it happens.
No, it's not. It's not where it happens.
You're right.
It's the room where something happens, but not it.
My name is Sean Pitts. With me, of course, is Barrett Courtney, and this is Zero Life. I've been listening to the Hamilton soundtrack a lot.
Oh, have you?
I'm telling the audience.
Okay.
Clearly, you know you were with me the last 2 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched some of Hamilton on YouTube. I finally got somebody finally showed it to me on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't have the money to go see it live. I would love to, Lynn. You're my boy, but your tickets are like $1,000.
Yeah.
So I will now attempt to win tickets.
Okay.
And if I don't win them, I'll never see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's throwing that out there. I like it a lot. I haven't seen it
Sean
in
doesn't
life.
win, we will riot.
I would love to win. I would love it. It's just so cool.
Very much how Hamilton started riots. I don't know.
Did you not watch the?
No, I fell asleep. I was sleeping last night because
it was on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I came over, started hanging out with you guys last night, and I was very drunk, and I started falling asleep.
Already the video that I watched online already taken down, so can't go watch it. But I didn't get to see the whole thing. And it was like someone else.
The little that you saw, like,
very
got you
impressive.
obsessed with it.
Oh, it was like, here's the thing: people have been talking about Hamilton forever.
Yeah.
I'm so late to this party.
Yeah.
But as always, I'm always late to the party. Like I'm behind on pretty much everything.
Exactly.
Because there are things that I know I will like, but I don't have time to get obsessed with them when they are super popular.
Yeah.
This happens to me all the time. So like Stranger Things, for instance.
Yeah.
It took me 10 months to watch Stranger Things. I knew I was gonna love Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't have time for that obsession right now.
Yep.
I'm going to put that on the back burner. Hamilton now, though, bit me right in the dick.
Oh, wow.
It's a powerful feeling.
And it was a radioactive bite? Are you going to get superpowers from that?
They've always been super down there.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's been like, I just watched a whole bunch of like the Tony nomination stuff for it. Really cool play. Really cool soundtrack. Also, that Jonathan Dornbush knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he does.
He's a
know
big
what he's
Hamilton fan.
Yeah. What have you been up to this last week, Sean? Anything interesting? Anything fun? Playing
I watched
anything
the
new?
first episode of Glow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Allison Bree's new show on Netflix about professional wrestling, women professional wrestlers. Pretty funny.
Okay.
I plan on watching more.
Cool.
Also, she gets naked in the first 20 minutes of it.
Oh, wow.
Did not expect that. I was like, they're going to cut out. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
This is happening.
I'm feeling feelings.
Nudity makes me uncomfortable. No,
I know it is.
Yeah. Sex. They don't like lean on it too much. It's just like a throwaway scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, man, that's a pretty lady. Yep. And it's a pretty funny show. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. Other than that, I've done nothing.
We saw Cars 3 last week, which we didn't really talk about last episode because we were talking about E3. We did talk about it?
No. Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, yeah. We did. We definitely did see it. It was definitely a movie.
It was 5 hours long.
It was only an hour and a half. And it felt so fucking long.
How do you feel that movie is longer than Dunkirk?
I don't believe that, though.
But it's like a fact.
No, because when I've looked up Dunkirk runtimes, I keep seeing 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yes.
People were
so
tweeting.
Whoever was saying that shit, I don't know if I believe them.
There's a bunch of people tweeting it like, can't believe that Dunkirk's runtime is less than Cars 3, and I was like, that makes me really sad if it is. Because that movie won't be like Cars, and it won't feel like it's 5 hours.
Facts are still out on that. If you find anything, because I literally looked all that night because you texted me that. I was like, that's fucked up. And I did research, and I could not find anything. So if you've found solid evidence showing me that Dunkirk actually has a
1 hour and 29-minute runtime.
Yeah, like, show me that. But right now, I don't believe it.
Good, I'm glad. You know what else I don't believe?
What?
How good the Spider-Man reviews are that are coming out on Twitter. Oh, my
God, dude. I got so excited seeing those, like, not, like, full reviews, like...
Impressions.
Like, we haven't, like, we work at IGN, and I don't think we've even reviewed it or anything yet, so I have no idea. But people have been allowed to give their impressions on social media, and it's like raving impressions so far. Joshua Ewell, who works in the LA office of IGN, tweeted out at one point, and this is what made me like smile like ear to ear, was when he said like Brian Michael Bendis is proud, like he is like crying somewhere. And Brian Michael Bendis is was the main writer for the Ultimate Spider-Man series, which is my Spider-Man series. So like
that's most people's Spider-Man series.
Yeah,
I grew up with the Amazing Spider-Man, but
yeah, well, you're a dork.
I mean, I like Amazing Spider-Man better than Ultimate Spider-Man, but they're both great.
Ultimate Spider-Man was like the first comic book series I really paid attention to for years and years. Like I picked up ones every once in a while, but Ultimate Spider-Man like was my thing for so long, and so I'm very happy that not only him, a couple other people are like calling out Michael Bendis for that. So I'm really excited because that is my series, and not the Ultimate TV show, the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show. Have you ever watched that?
The one on MTV?
No, it was on like Disney XD or whatever.
No, I've
it
never
was
watched
really bad.
Because the only Spider-Man show that matters is the 1990s Amazing Spider-Man TV show.
Yeah, that was really good.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That show is fucking awesome. And then they have the crossover episode with Daredevil.
Yeah,
dude.
Holy shit!
Talk about your and I think they also had a crossover episode with the X-Men. I want to say that was the thing, okay. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But man, when Daredevil was on the screen as Spider-Man, I was like, "There's a bigger universe at play here, people. People exist in other people's universes. Why doesn't Daredevil help him more often?" It's actually the same question that I have every time the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like a thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, don't you guys think you should call the Avengers? Whenever shit starts to get really out of hand, I'm like,
okay, the villain for Jessica Jones, maybe someone should have called somebody.
I mean, but then again, if he takes over the Hulk, then like if that's not like, why isn't that his game plan?
Yeah, exactly.
If I was him, that would be my game plan. I could take over people's minds. Wonder what good old Bruce Banner's up to.
Exactly.
Also, where's the line? Where's the line of not powerful enough for the Avengers, someone call the Defenders? like Tony Stark's in Maui right now. I'm sorry, we can't stop this cataclysmic event. I think the Defenders is here. It's like when you go see a play and like all the understudies are in, and you're like, I paid $1,000 for this. This is bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't been up too much. Just playing a lot of Rocket League again. Rocket League just tears my soul up all the time.
I've never seen you happy playing that game. I refuse to believe you enjoy it.
Even when I win, I'm not happy.
No, because that's what's supposed to happen. That's how I feel when I play video games. There's the only time I'm like happy in a video game is when I feel like I've overachieved. So like when I got 100 kills as Tracer. Yeah, that might be the only time I've ever smiled playing Overwatch.
This season has definitely been a tougher season of Rocket League for ranks than the last one, because I'm stuck in silver, and so like last season I was like high gold for a while, and maybe I just got bad. But I don't feel like that's how that works.
People usually just get better.
Yeah.
Like that level of competition. The people that are still playing tend to be good.
Yeah.
Because that's all they do is probably play Rocket League.
But
real quick on Spider-Man. I'm so excited.
No, yeah, I'm so like last week.
I've been hyped.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like last week, like if we would have talked about Spider-Man, I would have been like, I'm still like on the fence and stuff because of like the trailers. But because of the reactions, I actually feel like the trailers might not spoil as much as we think it did.
That's good. I hope not.
Like that's like from my perspective of like how so many people are like, there's so much to this movie and all this stuff. I'm like, maybe there's like more going on here than like we expected from the trailers, right? It might be one of those times where like you see a trailer for like a comedy movie, and you're like, oh, that seems like a movie that like showed all the jokes in the trailer, and then it ends up being 21 Jump Street, and you're like, holy shit, this was like way more extra than I thought it was gonna be. Like,
yeah,
so maybe Spider-Man: Homecoming is the 21 Jump Street of superhero movies.
21 Jump Street is so funny.
It's so good.
So is 22. 22 is just
as
funny.
good. Yes,
yeah.
That's why.
Speaking of like the Jump Streets. The guy who did those movies is no longer doing the Han Solo movies.
That's true.
Or movie.
That's very Christopher Miller and something Lord. You're
supposed to know this stuff.
Lord the singer was directing. Lord the singer was directing the Han Solo movie.
I wanted to think of a Lord joke there, but like I don't have any.
Alyssa, I think, is fact checking for us right now.
Yeah. I am Han.
But they directed the first Lego movie, not the Batman Lego movie. Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Thank you, Alyssa. Bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, they Gesundheit. They dropped, or they were let go because of creative differences. They were apparently getting not like, I don't know if heated arguments, but disagreements with Lawrence Kasdan on like writing, I believe.
So they were making the movie too funny.
Yes, apparently.
That's what I've heard. So like I spoke to our good friend.
They do have a very distinct humor style.
Yeah, I spoke to our good friend, our Star Wars expert, not Joshua Mobley. Sorry, Josh. Woody.
Okay.
And because like whenever there's like
Woody Zhang from Telltale Games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I have a question and I don't know how to feel about something movie related, I tend to go to Woody because Woody is the smartest person I know when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
That I talk to on a regular basis. There's people like Jeremy. Him and Jeremy would actually be good friends from Ismahawk. Jeremy's another one of those guys. Whenever I have a question about a movie, I
not
go
me,
ask
apparently.
him.
I'm not the bottom of that list.
Well, you're on the list, but if I want to find the 5 things I hate about something, I'll go talk to you. Where I'm like, what are the 5 flaws of this movie? And you're like, you want me to limit it to 5? So I asked Woody. I was like, so how do you feel about this? And Woody's like, everything. So he like did some research. And he's like, everything that I've read, it wasn't just that person. It was like the whole cast was upset. There was like multiple people in the cast. I might be misquoting you, Woody. I apologize. But he was telling me like there are multiple people in the cast that were upset in the direction they were taking the Han Solo movie
because they all felt like it wasn't true to the Han character.
Yeah,
right?
like he was
Possibly.
almost like I don't know if this is something that I read later on, but like they almost made him like a bumbling idiot. And that's not Woody saying that. That's something that I've read on my own. And that maybe this is just for the best.
Yeah.
Like if you like,
this is all speculation. We don't
I
know
have
what
no
the fuck
problem
really
with
happened.
them making a bumbling idiot character in Star Wars, but it can't be Han Solo.
Yeah, because that's not.
It can't. You can't
like
fuck up Han Solo.
even though this movie. Sorry, even though this movie is going to be like how Han Solo becomes Han Solo, he doesn't like is like a bumbling idiot and then like magically turns into like one of those suavest motherfuckers in the galaxy. You know?
Yeah,
like, that
it's
just
not like
doesn't
he's not
happen
like
overnight.
Jonah Hill's character in 21 Jump
Street.
Street.
And
then
then
in the next movie, he's Han Solo. Like, imagine they cast Jonah Hill as...
Yo, that'd be lit, though.
No,
that would be
wouldn't.
lit, though.
Skinny Jonah. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, no.
He's skinny.
Yeah.
It's freaking me out because his head never changes size. So he's walking around looking like a bobblehead right now.
But I do like... Alyssa, you're gonna also need to look this one up. The guy who is playing Han Solo.
Donald Glover.
No, he is playing. Fuck. Now you fucked me up.
Oh God, do you really not know who he's playing? I do.
God damn it, Lando Calrissian.
I was gonna say
Jesus Christ, you fucked me up. I was on a roll, and then you got me off the roll. Now I'm on a slice of bread.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich, who was the sort of cowboy actor guy from Hail Caesar. If you've seen Hail Caesar, that's a
Coen Brothers movie.
Coen Brothers movie. Very like that is like peak Coen Brothers humor, where like that movie is about a bunch of things and nothing all at once, but it's just
like
really
life.
funny. And a lot of it's set in like the sort of height of Hollywood, like in like the 30s, 40s almost, I want to say, and like they're doing like all like the musical numbers and stuff for productions. It's a really fun movie. Alden Ehrenreich plays like this like cowboy actor. He's like an action like movie star, and for political reasons, they cast him to be in like basically in a movie like an Audrey Hepburn movie almost, where he's got a Audrey Hepburn movie where he's got like a lot of like lines and stuff, and he's like, I don't know how to like act and stuff because I'm used to like just doing stunts and shit, and he nailed that role like in like on the set and like off the set and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see him play Han. I still can't quite grab like his face looking
like
enough
Han.
Like Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
but hopefully him like just acting will be enough to make me suspend my disbelief.
Are you worried about the Han Solo movie?
Now I am.
See, now I'm not.
Because here's the thing. I wasn't when they were let go, because I was like, okay.
Oh,
This
the
happens all the
director that got
time.
put in place. you
I'm
hate.
talking about the guy that they got to replace the fucking dudes.
Richie Cunningham.
Ron Howard.
Yeah, Richie Cunningham.
What the fuck?
Listen.
Why?
I think that arguably Rogue One is not a very good movie.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
and
fair.
like,
That's
I
totally
get flamed for that all the time.
Third act, great.
Last scene, amazing. Like,
That last 30 minutes could have just been like a Star Wars short or something.
Yeah.
And we would have been. That would have been.
I would
cool.
have had the exact same amount of
emotional, like weight.
emotional weight of the characters if I had known them for 30 minutes as opposed to 2.5 hours, because they do nothing to make those characters grow. But I get flamed for that. But like,
You shouldn't, because it's true.
Rogue One did a lot of cool stuff. It is the worst modern day Star Wars movie that's not a prequel. Like, I think the prequels are obviously.
I mean, there's only been
toilet
two so far. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's the worst Star Wars movie that's not a prequel. Then.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's definitely better than all the prequels
And
by
that was,
miles and miles and miles.
And I think the problem with Rogue One, like, especially for us, was like, you know, we have a bunch of friends who get to see these movies early and shit, and like a bunch of them were like,
This is the next
like
Jedi.
Empire. This
Yeah.
is Empire like level. I was like, fuck, okay. And I went into it, and it was like nothing like that. Like,
I liked
yeah,
it a
there
lot
was-
when I first saw it. It was
was
seeing
like-
it a second time that ruined it.
it was like, yeah, there's consequences, but those consequences didn't matter for me because I barely knew these characters. And that's not to say that you can't grow characters and make them connect with you in the span of one movie. You can. Guardians of the Galaxy did that. But if you don't do it well by the end of the movie, it's like the person I cared for most who died at the end was K2SO.
Yeah, me
and
too.
all of the other people, like, I cared a little bit when Jin and the like rebellion dude died.
Exactly. One of the problems with this movie is that you can't even name all the characters in the movie.
Exactly.
That's a problem, people. And like, I always ask, like, name 3 characters from Rogue One.
Yeah.
And like, everybody gets Jin, and everybody gets a lot of people get
And
K2SO.
like you can't name Darth Vader. You
And
know?
yeah,
like,
Vader doesn't
you-
count. But like,
the
a lot of
characters
people
from that
can't
movie.
name the other people
I know. So like
unless you're like Joshua.
Jin Urso, Galen Urso, and then K2SO. And literally outside of that, I really don't know.
And you've seen that movie how many times?
It's way too many fucking times. I saw
You've
that
seen
movie
like
like
6 times in theaters.
5 times in a span of a week because I went home to Cleveland and all the different groups of people wanted to see it with me because I'm the fucking nerd. And so they're like, yeah, let's see Star Wars. I'm like, fuck, okay.
Please no, God.
And so, yeah, it wasn't great.
But so like, I'm not just shitting on it. I think it did do things well. Like, I think the special effects are cool. The space battle is cool. The entire third act is great.
Yeah.
The special effects are absolutely unbelievable. I think the stuff that they
shout
did,
out to Paul Gallagher.
Yeah, I think the stuff that they did with CGI and that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a weaker movie. I think that
I think it's the
Solo
best
will be,
shot Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's not hard though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like George Lucas.
No
is
one
really
has
known.
like no one in the Star. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. No one in the Star Wars sort of family has yet to really bring in cinematography to like its peak in those movies, right? Because yeah, like
I mean, J.J. Abrams is the best director to ever direct a Star Wars movie.
and
up
that's
to this point.
and that's not saying a lot.
Yeah, he's I like JJ.
He's fine.
but like I think he was the right guy for 7.
But it's
like,
all about Ryan Johnson,
Yeah,
boys.
he's gonna
Let's
blow it out
go.
of the
Now we're
water.
just rambling about Star Wars. 'Cause
that's
Star
fine.
Wars
We
is
don't have a lot to
fucking
talk
rad.
about this week.
No, we do have some things on the docket, but I do want to go back to Ron Howard.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Han Solo, by the way.
I am. Ron Howard, like, what has he done since Apollo 13? What has he done? He did that Beatles documentary. All right, cool. It was a documentary. I don't know. It's just he seems like someone they put in charge of that movie to give him orders, basically. Like, it reminds me a lot of Ant-Man when they originally had the guy who directed Scott Pilgrim directing Ant-Man, and then they kicked him out because he was getting too weird with it, or like in their eyes he was getting like too crazy with it, and they replaced him with like name the director, the like second director for Ant-Man. Name him without looking it up.
I loved Ant-Man, by the way. So if you're gonna shout Ant-Man,
No, but
right
here's
now,
the
okay.
thing: it's like it was good, but it could have been so much better. You know, like because you still got the taste of the original director's like style in there, because there were scenes that were legit like, okay, they kept this in because they knew it was gonna work and stuff. And then like there were parts where it was like, okay, he didn't direct this, obviously, right? And I feel like that's what the Han Solo movie is going to be, because they had these directors with style. Yes, maybe not the style right for Han Solo, but then you're gonna have half a movie that's weird, quirky Han Solo, like funny stuff, and then the other half of the movie is almost gonna be lifeless, I feel, because again, I don't think they brought in Ron Howard because of his amazing talent as a director. I think they brought him in because they know that he will just listen to orders, what they want him to do, So that's why I'm scared. I don't think of Ron Howard as an imaginative dude. The reason why we all know Ron Howard, basically, and don't deny this, is not Apollo 13 because he's the narrator of Arrested Development. So
I mean, like, that's not why we know Ron Howard.
I mean,
he was Richie Cunningham in Happy Days.
I mean, I didn't watch Happy Days, though.
But, like,
I was
everybody else in the world,
Okay.
pretty much ever, knows him as Richie Cunningham from Happy
Everybody my age knows.
I'm telling you that you are the exception to that. Because the Happy Days was on at Nick at Night when you were alive. Because I watched it. You're only 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
Because, like, that's where I know him, and, like, all my friends know him as the guy who was friends with Fonzie. So that's why he's, like, and he is, like, he's a good director. Like, he's fine. Apollo 13 is a good movie. But, like, yeah, no, I think that, I still think that they're not, like, Disney will not let this movie come out bad. And they're like, Disney's is pretty good at not releasing bad movies. They will release an okay movie. So I think that, like, this movie will probably be okay. It'll be good enough. I don't think it's going to be bad.
Yeah. No, and I don't think that either. I just think it's going to exist in between two styles of directing that it's never going to find its own voice. That's what I'm worried about.
Direct it.
Who?
Donald Glover.
Nah.
They should have just been like, yo, DG, take that shit over.
That would have been cool, though.
That would have been cool.
That would have been. I would have liked to see. Like,
it's like an episode of Atlanta but in space. Let's do it, guys. Donald for directing.
Han, sexuality, it's like
not
a spectrum.
He's with like two aliens. I'm telling you, man, we got something here.
We do got something here. Also, stuff that's been happening this week, some smaller stuff. Sub-Zero, official release date for Injustice 2 DLC character.
Cool.
July 11th. That's pretty dope. I probably won't play him because I didn't play. They had like a Mortal Kombat character in the
Scorpion?
first. Scorpion, yeah. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is going to be, by the time you guys are watching this, they're already in the middle of streaming every like old school classic Mystery Science Theater episode on Twitch. Yeah, so that started on Monday, and I think it's going in through until like Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
There's that many episodes of them?
Yeah, and they're long because they're full movies. Like each episode, they're watching like a full hour and a half movie.
Brian Altano and Max just did a commentary for Hotel for Dogs.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
I'm gonna have to watch that. Shout out to the Comedy Button. Those guys are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I really love Mystery Science Theater 3000. There's some episodes on Netflix just if you want to check it out if you don't feel like dedicating yourself to just binging that shit on Twitch. Like check out one of the old school episodes and then like check out the newer stuff. I don't think the newer stuff is as good as the older stuff. But I think there's still something there. I think there's still heart there that I appreciate. COD 4 Remaster is finally after almost a year is finally getting its own like release disc and its own box and stuff. And this and like how they announced this was like what the fuck, guys? It was leaked like 30 times and then like they still wouldn't admit it, and then they finally were like in a press release were like, yeah, it's out. It's coming next week. By the time you guys are watching this, it's out. And like that did not make huge waves or anything. It would have back in like January, but it's like way too fucking late at this point.
No, people will buy it. I just think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I think the whole way that this has like they took advantage of the really hardcore fans that like me who love COD 4 more than fucking anything and spent $100 to play COD 4 again.
Yep.
It was funny because if you go back to Zero Life when we were talking about this originally,
yeah.
I said I will buy this game and there will be no one to play it with. Lo and fucking behold, that's exactly what happened. There was nobody on a goddamn game.
Yep.
And there was like, I could find games of deathmatch consistently, but like none of my friends could play with me because none of my friends are idiots and they're gonna buy $100 game for Call of Duty 4. So like there was like 400 people in the search and destroy lobby, which is like, that's not fun because inevitably you get one kid who's a god.
Yeah.
And then he just murders everybody. So that's not fun anymore. Like it was just like, yeah, this is stupid.
It's too little,
I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, but it's like it's
But, like,
too little
that just,
too late.
it makes me fucking mad.
And it's so weird, like how like this leaked hella times like 2 weeks before it was like supposed to come out.
Whatever.
Like I don't know why this wasn't an E3 thing, you know, or like not even like
Right
not like
now,
not a huge E3 thing, but like one like on the Xbox daily stream or like the
it should have been it would have been really cool if they had just come out on E3 press stage and been like, and Call of Duty 4 is getting its own remaster and it's free for everybody on PlayStation Plus this month.
Yeah, that would have been
like
cool.
Imagine that
That would have been cool.
Fucking people be playing that.
Yeah,
everybody would download that game.
Yep.
And it's like, you're not going to sell a lot of copies of that. It's going to be fine, but because of the way it was handled and there was no build up to it,
there's no hype
you would
around
have
it.
sold more because it would have been the front fucking page of IGN.
Yeah.
If you could play COD 4 for free right now.
Yeah.
God, I should get in a PR. Youssef, call me.
And the last sort of news thing before we go into our main topic for the show. Nintendo apologizes for Switch shortages.
Apology not accepted.
Yeah. They're sort of getting fucked over on parts for the Switch, which it's like...
I don't believe any of this, by the way.
It's a rock and a hard place because of... Well, because, yeah, the Switch is made up of a bunch of hardware that phone companies use to make their phones. So they're, like, having problems buying those products because, like, Apple and, like, all these other companies are...
I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
I do not believe them. I'm sorry. Like, you can... you're not going to tell me on this story. Like, it's just that you create artificial scarcity in every fucking console you release.
Except the Wii U.
Except for the Wii U, and that's only because the Wii U is literally the greatest selling console like ever, except for PlayStation 2.
No, Wii U.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the Wii. The Wii U, well, because no one wanted your piece of shit system that was the same as a Wii.
So it was almost impossible to do.
Yeah, you couldn't
scarcity.
artificially scare something that no one wants. And like I remember the Wii did have, it was like one of the best selling consoles ever, but still had artificial scarcity problems. I just like I said, I have been very vocal where if I could have bought a Switch in those 3 weeks after the Switch had come out, at any point during those 3 weeks, I would have bought a Switch. I was willing to drive really far or take crazy Ubers, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, we would have done a trip.
And then I just stopped giving a fuck.
Yeah.
And now I don't want one. And it's strictly because I'm like putting my foot down until they announce a Smash Bros. And I'm forced to buy it.
Yeah,
which is what will happen.
And I see not a lot of you, but I see more people starting to sound like you, where it's like, yeah, I wanted one, and it's impossible to find. Now I don't give a shit.
And now it's like there's one game on the Switch I really want to play.
Yeah,
and it's Zelda because I can play Mario Kart on yours. And it's like I play Mario Kart.
Mario Kart like is only fun with people, right?
Yeah, so like I play Mario Kart in party situations, and I'm like, whatever, I'm fine at it. But like, no, I don't like this story, and like you're not gonna sell me this Nintendo. You're liars.
But Rocket League though, on the Switch.
My favorite is like. Again, I still make the argument that while the Switch is cool, it has a ton of problems.
Oh yeah,
I think it's like, doing good things right now. Like
it's like the Mad Max of systems, where it's like there's a lot of it that's not great or original, and it's not like pushing anything, but there's that one thing that's really cool. Mad Max had the car combat. The Switch has the portability, you know.
The Switch is like design is cool, but like,
and it looks like a cool system, you know, and it's like it has things going for it. It's not great, and maybe they'll do, because they did this with the 2DS and 3DS for so many fucking years. Maybe they'll do like different like models of them. If humor me here, if this story is true, or they're not finding like apparently it's a battery problem, or they
have a battery problem already on the thing that launches. It's only 3 hours long.
Yeah, and so humor me, if this story is true, maybe they make a new Switch model where like the hardware they need is coming in consistently, and do start making more consistent of this newer Switch models. Would you then be more inclined to get one then? No? Okay.
No, because I'm mad about the beginning. Like, I hold a grudge. You know, like
Destiny had a terrible fucking beginning, but you came back though because they fixed it.
They fixed every problem, and I loved Destiny when it came out. There's a difference. Is like people shit on Vanilla Destiny. I played like 100 hours of Vanilla Destiny. I loved that game. Well, there was a lot there if you're playing with friends.
Mm.
A lot of the people that had problems with Destiny are people that played it by themselves, which I can totally understand.
Yeah.
But I was playing that game with Fred every night.
Yeah.
So like, it's the same reason I think why I still play Overwatch so much.
Yeah, because
it was
friends
like
are
a
still playing
community
it.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm holding a grudge, and I will eventually cave because I do want to play Zelda one day. But right now, there's nothing else on the platform that I want to play. It's just Zelda and Mr. Shifty, which I think I can play on PC.
And PS4.
And PS4, yeah. So I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So Switch, sort of fucked right now.
Shout out to Jose Otero though, that's going to work for Nintendo. Go fix that place, please.
Jose Otero. Shout out to him. I do actually want to take a moment. He, if you don't know, he worked at IGN. He was like the Nintendo guy who hosted NBC and all that stuff. And I just want to shout out to him because this last Thursday was his last day. And he was the homie. He was like, besides you, because, we were friends before I started at IGN. He was one of the first people who, made me feel really welcome there. He used to be a teacher and taught, some of my friends who I knew from back in high school and shit. And so we had that connection. And then, so, he was someone who would, always come and hang out at my desk and, talk and stuff. Whenever he sensed, that he knew I was down or something, he'd always come over and hang out for a bit. So
and he did that with me too.
Yeah.
And it was Jose made me feel very welcome at IGN.
Exactly.
And that can't be you can't even put it into words how much that means to me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know Jose. He was one of the few people that before I worked there I didn't know. And he went out of his way on multiple occasions to make sure I felt welcome.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget him reviewing Zelda at 4:00 in the morning at the office, and I was
being
there
terrified of giving it a 10.
Yeah, and I was there working on a project, and then just going into the theater room with him and watching him beat Zelda.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so cool. So shout out to him. Go make Nintendo better.
Yeah. We are very excited for your future, Jose, and we will miss you when you. I think by now he's already up in Seattle. So
I saw him yesterday.
Okay.
So.
And then I also want to shout out Cool Greg Geddes, just for a second here, who...
First of all, before you even get started, I'm not going anywhere. I founded this company with you.
So if
Second
you don't
of all,
know the story...
I love Greg Geddes more than almost anybody in the world. When I'm having a bad
He's
day,
the
I
fucking
scroll
homie.
through his Instagram feed. It just makes me feel better.
So if you don't know the story, folks, Cool Greg from Kinda Funny likes to stream on Instagram where he plays PS2 games and shit in the Kinda Funny studio. So this was last week, late last week, I think Friday, and he's still streaming, but he left the studio and he's hanging out in a car or something, just talking to the chat, and he sees Alyssa's on her phone. She popped in with Joey, and then I popped in, and he's like, "Yo, when am I getting on Zero Life and stuff?"
Which he's always welcome.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
When we
but
get a third mic.
But I was trying to explain to him we don't want to do any cool guests until we move. We're moving together with Andy Cortez August 1st, so we're gonna have a better cooler studio look.
We're gonna have
and
a way
stuff.
cooler studio look.
Yeah, and so we want to wait until cooler guests come in for that, show them the cooler spot.
Because there's not a lot of room here.
There really isn't.
They're really Alyssa is sitting. I'm currently 1 inch away from Alyssa.
No, that's
Nah,
not true.
that's not
true. So
I forgot the camera because I thought the camera was this. It's been a long weekend, guys.
So yeah, we want to have the cooler spot for cool guests like Cool Greg, and so we also still need to get a third mic. We talked about ordering one, but
which you guys will be able to help us with very soon.
Yes. So there's things in place. I was trying to explain that to him on his Insta story. He was like, "Nah, y'all trying to dodge me. You're making excuses like a little bitch." And then he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna claim I'm a part of Zero Life until y'all get me on the show." So in his fucking Twitter bio, he says 1/3 of Zero Life, not 1, 2, 3. He said, "I'm kicking Sean out. I'm 1/3 with Alyssa and Barrett."
I came up with a company name. This was my idea. I'm not going anywhere. Don't believe the rumors. There is not a coup. I could kill Barrett with one hand.
Cool Greg 2018. Let's go.
But as far as I'm concerned, Greg can be a member of Zero Life. I don't. We gotta talk kind of funny about that.
Yeah.
He is but without a doubt, one of my favorite.
But
people.
he was also like, Alyssa saw him late that same day, I want to say, and he was like, "Yo, Alyssa, try to get me on the show." And she's like,
"You can be on whenever you want."
Because he asked me on Twitter if you could be on the show. I was like, "Yeah," but he didn't think I was excited about it. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm excited, Cool Greg. Let's get you on the show." But there's things in play. But we will get you on as soon as possible.
We will get you on as soon as we move. That is not us ducking you. There's just not a lot of room here, and it's also extremely hot in here.
It's 85 degrees in this room.
Yeah.
Main topic of the show, Sean, is not a lot's happening. So I sort of pulled this topic out of my butt. Spider-Man is coming out soon. People are liking it. The first villain is Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. Yeah, like we haven't seen Vulture in a main movie, live action movie setting, which I'm excited for.
And Michael Keaton loves playing things that can fly.
Yeah, exactly. He likes playing birds.
Weird guy.
And I'm a little worried because every time but again, I feel like the trailers actually are holding back from what the rest of this movie actually might be. So Michael Keaton might actually be cool in this movie. Who knows? But he was one of the parts in the trailers I was sort of worried about. So Vulture is going to be the first Spidey villain that we see. At least. So I want to talk about for the later Spider-Man movies, because Tom Holland was also in an interview recently saying that the Spider-Man story in the MCU was going to be a trilogy. He'll probably be in other people's movies because he's also in like the Avengers movies and shit. But the like main Spider-Man like movies will be a trilogy and stuff. So I want to talk about what other villains we want to see in the later Spider-Man movies and also the game. Because I don't know, like they showed Mr. Negative in the Spider-Man gameplay and Kingpin, but I don't think that's the full roster of villains that we're gonna see.
Without a doubt,
yeah, exactly. So, Sean, what do you got for me? Who do you want to see?
Madam Web.
Madam Web. Okay.
Now here's the thing. I don't actually want to see this.
Isn't Madam Web the one where she like brings all like the universes together and shit?
I think that storyline is actually impossible to tell in movies. You kind of need to tell it in a video game. But like, I think she'd be cool to be in a video game. Like,
she's been in a video game though. She was.
But she would be cool to have in the new game as like a side story, almost like the Mad Hatter in Arkham.
Yeah, okay.
Where like you
I
catch Madam Web and every once in a while she like sends you to this weird time and place.
That's dope. I'm feeling that.
That would be cool.
So she was in
Shattered
Dimensions, and that's how they threaded the storyline of playing like the Noir Spider-Man and like
which was lit.
Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, Noir Spider-Man was legit. Like that was Batman Arkham before Batman Arkham was out, I believe, because I remember playing that back in Ohio, and Batman Arkham Asylum didn't come out until I moved here. So I think,
the game was cool, man.
Yeah,
I actually like Shattered Dimensions a lot.
Yeah, and then they did the sequel where it was just modern day Spider-Man, and then 2099, and it wasn't as great. But yeah, shout out to Shattered Dimensions.
Shout out to Madam Web. But anyway, here's I'm gonna start.
And
this
they also
off.
teased Spider Ham in that game too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna start this off by talking about the villains I absolutely do not want to see. I don't want to see Venom, and I don't want to see Carnage. Period. In the game, maybe, but I don't think they are such hard characters to do well.
Yeah, they are. They really are, and
need a lot of time with those characters.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I'm gonna gush about Ultimate Spider-Man again because to me that's how you do the Venom storyline. Stop with the fucking alien rock thing, and he comes from the fucking meteor or whatever. Like I get it. That's how he originally was introduced in the comics. But I think the Ultimate series of how they introduced the Venom sort of symbiote thing is really fucking cool. Where it's actually like Peter's dad's project before he died. Where the Venom like project is basically the suit that's supposed to cure cancer. And then it goes like haywire and all this shit. Like Peter and Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Their fathers were scientists and worked together. Were working on this project and died in that plane crash together and shit. And so Eddie Brock isn't like a little older than Peter, and he's in college and he's sort of been testing out the Venom stuff. And then like Peter finds it and he accidentally like spills some onto himself, and then that's how he gets like the black suit, Spider-Man and stuff. And then Eddie finds out about that. Finds out that Peter's Spider-Man and all that shit, and that's why he starts using the venom. And he, like that suit, like is almost like a different kind of cancer, and it's really cool because like it's been a while since I've read that storyline. I actually have it on my shelf. I bought it. I haven't read it since I bought it though, and it's a good like sort of play on like the disaster that constantly happens in the Parker family, and that's why like I would love to see Venom done right, you know, like because we have seen.
I just don't know if we can in a movie,
exactly,
especially with like that's such a heavy CG, and it would almost always look goofy in my eyes.
Yeah, because it like almost looked cool in Spider-Man 3. Like Spider-Man 3 was still bad.
It was a bad movie
for
really bad
everything else, and he almost looked good in Spidey 3. And then like at the end where he's got all the fucking teeth and stuff.
I mean,
like
they also picked a horrible person to play Eddie Brock.
Oh my god, like Eric from that '70s show. Like why though? Like I love him as Eric, but like him as Venom was weird.
I don't want to see that because I don't know if they'll do it well. I would like it to go Vulture, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin as the storyline.
So you want
That's
it to
a little
go in
boring.
the actual order, right? Because
Yeah.
Hobgoblin originally comes first.
Yeah, of course. Well, because Hobgoblin's not a supervillain. He is, but he doesn't have superpowers. He's just a guy with a glider.
Yeah.
And then he gets Osborn, who they've teased, gets infected by the Green Goblin serum.
Oh, you're still talking video game?
No. I'm talking about movies. I wanted to go Vulture.
They've teased.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting all my Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah,
because
you see the
you
billboard
see that
in
the game. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Osborn has to be in Spider-Man.
Maybe. Who knows?
That would be mind-boggling for them.
Maybe not in the first one, but maybe the second one.
I'm thinking of like almost like a Bruce Wayne tease, like they do in the first Superman movie.
Right, where,
like,
you see,
where
like,
there's
the
like
symbol.
Wayne Enterprises and stuff like that.
I get you.
So like they hit the satellite and it's like a Wayne satellite. So like I would almost like expect to see something like that or him to know Harry. But like I think that it would be cool if they do Vulture and then the next one is like Green Goblin and he beats Green Goblin and or Hobgoblin and then he comes back.
Can we get a confirmation of who the Asian friend in the trailer is? Alyssa, if you could look that up. Because that'd be weird if he was Harry.
He's not Harry.
Okay.
I'm 99% he's not Harry.
Okay. It'd be interesting to see who they cast as Harry. The last kid that they cast as Harry was awful. That kid, I just don't like him.
Oh yeah, he is really bad.
The kid from Chronicle.
Spider-Man. Yeah, he's not good.
The only thing I've liked him in is Chronicle, and everything else I'm like, oh man.
The beginning, he could also be fighting. And like the beginning of
We're still talking game or movie?
The movie. And the beginning of the third movie, the movie could start with him stopping Shocker.
So,
I think Shocker would be cool.
Actually, I believe Shocker's, spoilers, I think Shocker's in this movie, because pictures leaked of a Shocker, like, costume on set, like, a year ago or something, like, back when I was still doing BTG, because I remember it was a topic of ours. So I think, and people are saying, like, and this is why I'm very excited for the Spider-Man movie, is like people are saying like, oh, Brian Michael Bendis is like smiling somewhere, like he knows this is like, this is basically like if he made a Spider-Man movie. And so I almost hope that in this first movie, Shocker is the first person, he's like the intro baddie, because in the Ultimate Spider-Man
he's a great
series,
intro baddie.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think in the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series, he is like a joke. Like he, like Spider-Man's just fucking making fun of him all the time, and like just always beats the living shit out of him, and it's great, and actually develops into like a really sort of fucked up storyline later on in the series. But it's always like Shocker is a running joke, so I think it would be fucking hilarious if they did that, where like he just beats him up like super fast in like the beginning moments of that movie.
There's so many ones, because like I could also see the trilogy going Vulture, Mysterio.
We haven't got a good like Mysterio,
and I think
yet.
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Or like Vulture, Scorpion, where like think about Scorpion with a real cool high tech metallic, like almost Iron Man like suit.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because like that's how I'm picturing. I'm not picturing like the one from the cartoon, but like a real awesome.
If they try to do the one from the cartoon, that'd be fucking.
That
hilarious.
would be hilarious. Get like Batista to play him or something.
Okay. Well, he's already playing Drax.
Yeah, but no one would know.
I would know. It would upset me.
I forgot that he's playing Drax.
Yeah, I think. Wait, you said Scorpion. I think Chameleon would also be pretty cool.
Chameleon would be cool.
I think that's like another sort of like intro, maybe also outro villain, sort of like akin to Rhino, but better.
Yeah, because maybe they'll actually fight.
And then maybe like they won't cast fucking. Oh shit! Who played Rhino in the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I don't know. He's only in it for 30 seconds.
Oh man, he's from no, not Big Fat Liar. No, yeah, Big Fat Liar. The guy who's like I'm blue, or he dyes the skin blue, and oh fuck, man. He also played the manager of NWA and Straight Outta Compton. Fuck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was really bad in that movie. Not Straight Outta
He had
Compton.
like 30 seconds of screen time.
He was still really bad in that movie.
It's hard to be really bad in 30 seconds unless
I would
you're
also
having
like
sex.
to see Green Goblin in those movies, but more akin to the Ultimate.
I think he will be in. I think he'll probably be the last. They'll probably tease him in the next one.
I think like honestly,
I don't think they'll go back-to-back Goblin movies.
Yeah, I think like honestly, like a lot of people usually when they think of like a trilogy Spider-Man arc, they usually think of Venom as the last villain. But I honestly think like Green
Goblin's a way better villain.
Yeah, is a way better villain, and I think like makes more sense. Like I hope they do tease him a little bit in this movie to set him up a little more of the sort of emotional like resonance in their relationship, because they do almost have like a father-son relationship where Spider-Man would not exist if it wasn't for Norman Osborn, and like in the comics, like Norman's like you are legally my property and all this stuff. Like I've created you, Spider-Man is mine, and even like in Ultimate Spider-Man, like after Ultimatum where there's a bunch of bullshit, and after Ultimatum where you think Peter dies but he doesn't really die and he comes back and it's dumb. When Peter really dies, Green Goblin is the one that kills him, and I think that's sort of like fitting. I don't know if they're actually going to kill Peter in the
doubt they will. These movies are too cookie cutter for that.
Yeah, and so, but I think it would be very fitting to have Green Goblin sort of be the last Spidey villain, though.
Yeah, it would, because I think in my eyes, it's never Spider-Man Venom. It's always Spider-Man Green Goblin. Green Goblin is always the last bad guy.
Do you think we could get a good Kraven?
I was gonna bring up Kraven.
Yeah.
No. But no, because he's too ridiculous.
He's so funny.
He'd
though.
be like, "I smell you." Like, what would be funny, really funny, is now that spoilers, Wolverine they get Hugh Jackman to play Kraven.
See, I was almost thinking Momoa.
Mike, the syndication guy?
No, or Jason Momoa, right? Jason Momoa. Who plays Aquaman, so I doubt he can do that. But when I think Kraven, I think of him, actually.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
But yeah, like, again, I'm going to keep bringing Ultimate Spider-Man up because I love that series. Like, they also sort of make fun of Kraven, where he's like a reality TV hunter, like almost like a Spy the Bounty Hunter or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, Spider-Man totally, he punches him once and he, like, knocks the fuck out. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and that's the thing, where Kraven's a joke, like, Shocker's a joke, but Mr. Negative, even to an extent, like, they're not really that great.
Yeah, I think they can make him like cool,
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the main villain or anything in that game. They
can't do Kingpin because he exists in that universe.
No, and like,
is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I was about to say Kingpin, and that's the fucked up thing, is because I think this iteration of Kingpin is the best iteration of Kingpin we've ever seen.
Yeah,
comics, video games,
he's so
movies,
cool.
like. I forget the actor's name, but he is just fucking amazing as that character. Like, the fucked up past that they give him and, like, how that develops into, like... Because when you think of Kingpin, you think of, like, oh, I'm, like, this big douche and, like, I'm very confident and stuff. But this, like, the Marvel's Netflix Daredevil Kingpin has, like, social, like, disorders almost. And it's, like, he has like a hard time like interacting with people, and in his mind he is definitely the hero, and you see that and you understand that and you understand why he's doing what he is doing.
I would also, in the same vein, if they were gonna do Kingpin, I would love for them to do the Punisher Kingpin Spider-Man story, where Punisher comes to kill Spider-Man because he's a vigilante. And then they like they team up to go up against Kingpin. Okay. That would be cool. But they kind of did that with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Even though I never finished the second season of Daredevil.
God, it's so bad.
The first 7 episodes or first 6 episodes are great.
They're fine.
No, the Punisher arc.
The Punisher arc is good.
It's like
and
6
then
episodes.
He gets like arrested in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
And then he like sort of comes back, and then he's like sort of a hero, but then like it's fucking.
I never
weird.
saw the hero part. I only saw him get arrested, and then like honestly, once Punisher leaves that show, I stopped watching.
And I don't want to like ruin too much because
I'm gonna
you
watch
do
it.
go back to it. but the whole like you got to at least them introducing Elektra, right?
Yeah.
So like the end arc of like Elektra and how that story turns out, it's like, all right, this is getting a little too fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, I would like Green Goblin, Hobgoblin. I would like to see. Yeah, I don't know. Venom and Carnage. I like them so much, but it would be hard to see them done.
I have no faith that they would do it right.
Yeah,
none at all. So it's really hard for me to be like.
And the Carnage part is really cool because in the comics, because like some doctor finds like after Venom is like destroyed or whatever, he knows that Spider-Man takes Peter's blood and like combines it with like the Venom formula and stuff, and that's how Carnage is created. And like that's like another metaphor of like sort of like the chaos that like Peter has caused and like all this stuff. It's like, so fucking cool, and they will never do it right in the movies. Anyway. Spider-Man villains. Sort of cool. Not as cool as Batman villains, though.
No, but he has the best stable of villains outside of Batman.
That's true. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, Octopus is
definitely
awesome
in the Marvel universe.
there's not even a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you about this kid?
The kid who played the Asian kid who's Peter's friend?
He's Filipino.
He's Filipino. Okay. Ned Leeds.
No,
I don't know if that's... Oh.
Stories. He is brainwashed and becomes the second Hobgoblin.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
That would be very... I don't think
they'll do
that
that.
route.
Yeah, but that would be cool.
He, to me at least from these trailers,
his
screams like comic relief and stuff, and like totally sidekick character, and like that kid like when I see James Franco, I'm like, yeah, I could see him turning into a villain.
I see James Franco every night before I go to bed.
It's a little weird, but when I see that kid, I'm like, you're always gonna be fine. You're like that Muggle character from fucking Fantastic Beasts. Like, you're never gonna be an actual villain.
Also, shout out to Dave Franco's face.
Dave Franco.
Isn't that his brother?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the man too. They're both amazing.
I still have like this thing against him because of how bad Scrubs season 9
He was the best part of Scrubs season 9, without a doubt.
He was one of the worst parts.
No, he was
so
anything
bad.
that you say to me bounces off me. Pa-chang, pa-chang. He's so funny, man. I think that kid is hilarious.
He's great in 21 Jump Street.
He's
and like his
amazing.
scene in 22 Jump Street is fucking hilarious. But yeah, Scrubs season 9 was awful. Or at least I think it was season 9.
It was
anyway,
season 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was like the main topic. But if you want to be a part of the show, you can be Cool Greg Geddes and claim that you're part of the show, or you can do something way simpler and tweet at us every week and send us questions. Sean is at Sean Twisters. I'm at Banana Song. So if you want to be part of the show, send us some questions and we will answer them. Much like Patrick at PSI Love You Too, who asks, either of you play any Tekken at any point? It's outstanding. Or which fighting games you've liked throughout the years?
Yeah, I played Tekken 1, 2, and 3, and then Tekken Tag.
Yeah.
Because
I think he might be bringing up Tekken 7 specifically.
Yeah.
No.
I
was never really into the Tekken series. Like, a lot of people think of me as the fighting game guy because I really like Injustice and Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's really it.
But you're not, like, good at those games.
I'm not. Like, I know
like,
basic...
Destin came over and just mopped the floor the other day.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you were good at this. I was like, I never said that. I just said I like these games.
Liking something and being good at it is not the same thing. Ask the entire Giants, like, relief bullpen. They like baseball, but they're not very good at it.
It's true. I'm sorry, Alyssa. It's I love you, but it's true.
She knows.
And so, yeah, like, that'll be my answer for any other fighting games. Like, I like the Injustice games. I like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, that series, or like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 specifically, because it's like a good like arcade, like fun and shit. You know, it doesn't have to be taken seriously.
First of all, I want to say that I made fun of the Giants because I want them to be good, and it hurts me that they're not. I'm not a Giants fan, but a lot of my friends are. So
yeah.
I made that joke because
worst record in baseball. I talked to my good friend Ben Osigura last night, who I used to do fantasy baseball with. Yeah. And he's really bummed out about it.
It sucks because like I wish they were better.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see them good again. I only say because I know that a lot of our fans are also Giants fans.
Oh yeah.
I love Smash Bros.
Yeah.
If you count Smash Bros as a fighting game, the funny thing is I played some people over Kind of Funny Live Weekend at Smash Bros at the Foundry, they were shocked at how good I am at that game. They were like, "Oh, I'm the best one at Smash with my friends." And then I was like 3-stocking kids left and right, and they were like, "Holy shit, you're really good at Smash Brothers." I was like, "Yeah, it's my only Nintendo game I really like."
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, fighting games, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on PlayStation 2. Shout out.
Are you excited for that new Dragon Ball fighting
Yes.
game? Yeah.
Yes, I am. I am so.
Hey, Sean, tell me how you really feel.
Yes, all of the. That is like, if I'm not good at that game, I'll never be good at a fighting game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we had
the
that
one
conversation
that I'm
before.
going to get good at. So
Okay.
I'm super excited for Dragon Ball Z Fighter. Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
David Burke at Irish Gamerman sent both of us this. He wants us to talk about chicken burgers.
That's
I'm
a
just gonna
contradiction.
I'm just going to say one thing. If there's chicken in a burger, it's not a burger.
It's a chicken sandwich.
It's a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
A burger has patty meat.
Shout out to turkey burgers, though, which I love.
Again, those are just turkey sandwiches.
No, they're not. They're in like a patty form. See, the thing with chicken burgers is that their chicken burgers are just still chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Turkey burgers are different. Lean turkey ground beef, that's good. I fuck with turkey burgers heavily.
Bucktown at Emperor Bucktown, who is... I hung out with him last night. He's really cool. Can you discuss the relative importance of gameplay versus graphics, i.e. Undertale / Minecraft versus COD, Modern Warfare 2 / Destiny?
Yeah. I think whenever you have this conversation about graphics, people... graphics are as important as long as they reinforce gameplay or the graphics speak towards the narrative. So,
Yep.
like, if the
That's why, like,
tone of a
Undertale-
game's graphics don't... If a game's graphics don't match the tone of the game, it'll
Then
be
it's-
jarring no matter
yeah.
how good.
Exactly. And that's why like Undertale works so well, because the tone of that game and the story of that game is very much akin to like the tone and stories to other older RPGs. And so that's why like graphics don't really matter for that kind of game. And like Minecraft, it's like the gameplay, like almost the graphics are part of that game. Like that
Building
style.
something not in blocks would be too complex.
Yeah, exactly.
Your brain
And
wouldn't be able to do it.
that's
Unless you're
why
an
Fallout
architect.
4 fucking town building was so shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like because it wasn't in blocks, it was all complicated and weird, and that's why no one liked it, you know?
And it's also like structures that don't make sense in Minecraft are fine because they're in that graphical style. Structures that don't make sense in a photorealistic sense would be like jarring.
Yeah.
Another great example is South Park. South Park has some of the best graphics I've ever seen because the graphics matched the gameplay, which matched the aesthetic of the franchise.
Yep.
If South Park was photorealistic, it'd be fucking terrifying.
It would be. It really would be.
So I think that we often like I can
We
play-
often like complain about like, oh, like
it doesn't look good enough.
yeah, it doesn't like the PS4 Pro isn't true native 4K and stuff. And it's like I don't give a shit. I just played Uncharted 4 again like last weekend,
And it looks great.
and it looks so fucking good, and it plays great. Except that weird sliding mechanic that they forced in, and that story is fucking great because like the graphics and that art style match the tone of the story, match the gameplay, and it's all like. Again, it all sort of melts together, and they're all important. They're all sort of cogs in a bigger like machine.
When I shit on Switch for not having the graphical power of another console, it's only because I know that it'll stop third-party game developers from making games for it.
The Switch is definitely at a disadvantage for that. But also, it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Zelda doesn't even look that great," and it's like
It looks
graphically and stuff. But I think like the art style makes up for it. You know, like I think that art style is cool, and I
Brilliant
don't
move.
And I don't think, you know, like that game needed to be like fucking super HD 4K for us to appreciate that art style, you know?
I
And
agree.
like, cause that's the same reason why like Wind Waker was like that art style, because they knew they didn't have like the strongest console. And so,
Actually, I
but
think technically the GameCube was the most powerful console.
at the time, like
It might have been.
PS2 and Xbox, no.
Look that up, Alyssa. I've heard something about the GameCube being way more powerful than people give it credit for.
Maybe then people give it credit for it, but I still don't think.
I don't
powerful-
think. Yeah, I don't think it's more powerful than the Xbox.
Yeah, maybe the PS2, but yeah, Xbox no. Like no one gave a shit really. Like the Xbox wasn't super successful, but that was still a very powerful console for its time.
Wait, can you say that again so I know exactly how?
What
What am I trying to think?
how would we?
Most powerful console: GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox. Now, saying it back, it sounds ridiculous. I realize I'm definitely wrong.
Yes,
But
because that's why they did that. Because
beautiful
they
show is
knew.
beautiful.
God, it's so good. But again, it's because of the art style, not because it was pushing like the graphical fidelity of games that in that time.
Yeah,
You know?
they never really focused on that.
Yeah. and-
Although Resident Evil 4 at the time was, whew.
It was looking really
It was
good.
really brown, but
Yeah. It was like the color palette of Fallout 3. David Gilletinen at The Guilty Man matched up the cast of MVC Infinite and Dragon Ball Fighter Z that we know about so far against each other and see which comes out on top.
Dragon Ball Z
All the characters of Dragon Ball Z just come out on top?
are like immensely powerful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who's in the cast for Marvel vs. Capcom, but like
Infinite, not a lot of people apparently.
Ryu dies immediately in a fight with anybody in the Dragon Ball universe.
Damn.
Mega Man dies immediately in a fight with anybody in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Arthur dies immediately in a fight with any. Krillin kills Arthur. Like, I'm trying to think of like.
What
it's like
about some
Ultron.
of the Marvel characters? Yeah, like Ultron may be able to like.
Goku would fucking kill him.
Yeah. But like Ultron mixed with that other villain.
Still think Goku probably kills him immediately.
Okay.
Just blows him away with a Kamehameha wave. I don't know. I don't know who else is in the game. Hulk?
Yeah, maybe Hulk.
Hulk would be tough.
Yeah.
You might need to have all the characters in Dragon Ball Z fight him at the same time.
And get the 7 fucking Dragon Balls and make a wish.
That was the thing. Like, you could cheat. You could just wish him out of existence.
Exactly. Jake James Lugo, his Twitter handle fucking cuts off. It's at Venomous.
Fat man.
Oh yeah. And he wants us to talk about the best foods to have around while playing fighting games with friends.
The best foods?
Yeah. To eat while playing fighting games with friends. I don't play a lot of fighting games. And I also don't have a lot of friends, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you have like all of them are in this room. No, Dornbush is out there somewhere
He's
watching
play
Austin
fighting
Powers.
games. He's out there playing Kingdom
Hearts.
Hearts Crash Bandicoot Remix 3.8.
Over 4.
That series is so dumb.
I'm sorry, Dornbush. I couldn't resist.
Dornbush, you're the best, but you're also the worst. I love you.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
don't know.
I'm trying to think of just general, like, what I eat, like... while I
Lunchables,
play.
man.
Yeah, like, stuff that doesn't get your
Radical.
controller, like, sticky and shit. You know?
Yeah, you got to eat.
Even though I still do that all the time. But I'm also very careful. Like, I'll be eating greasy pizza, and I still, like, wipe it off myself before I, like...
Pro tip from Cisco, the kid who sits next to me at work, one of my teammates, eat Cheetos with chopsticks, and you will not get stuff on your hands.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a pretty big pro tip.
Yeah,
right there. That's a shout out to
one.
Cisco. That's a really good tip. What's up, Alyssa?
Okay, so the Xbox was the most powerful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
PS2 and GameCube. GameCube was higher than PS2. GameCube was 484 megahertz, and PS2 was 295.
Okay, so GameCube was significantly more powerful
Yeah.
from processing. I knew the Xbox was the top but I remember also Xbox did not launch at the same time.
Yeah, Xbox
It was a
launched
later
later.
launch.
Yeah.
So
and I think
that's why I thought
PS2
that.
came first, right? And then GameCube, and then...
And the GameCube's graphics processor was also higher than PS2's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was like.
Yeah.
Also, GameCube, the most durable of all those consoles.
Yeah.
Like, you could drop it out of a 5th-story window and it would
Do
still
you remember
play.
the first viral YouTube video where it's like the older brother who like they had 2 GameCubes and one was like already broken and he like and like he takes out like the little brother's like GameCube that like already works and he like pretends that he like destroys it and shit.
Oh, no, I didn't.
God, we watched that video so many times. It was really fucked
I
up.
remember one of my managers at GameStop getting so mad at a customer that he took a GameCube and smashed it against the wall until he was just holding the handle and came out and goes, now I know why they put handles on these things, and throws it in the garbage. And I was like, oh my God, that was terrifying.
Mara Truman, it's good to hear from you. You've been pretty quiet asking us questions at the Flannel Death. Do either of you read comics on a regular basis? If so, what are your favorite titles? I already talked about Ultimate Spider-Man enough.
I don't read.
Yeah, he doesn't read. He doesn't know how to read.
I don't even read the notes for this show.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast with Blessing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to OK Beast, by the way.
I
got one of their shirts yesterday because yesterday was sort of like the last like full day to order one of their shirts.
Whoops. Can I wear it on a podcast?
No, I don't want to wear it. Well, I just ordered it. It's not here yet.
okay.
I just ordered it yesterday.
He sent me like a letter today about like the topics of the show and how they're gonna run the show, and I was like, we don't see
And then he
any of
forwarded
that.
it to me so I could read it back to him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this means.
He was like, here's the notes for the show, and I was like, you guys have notes? I walk in 10 minutes before the show starts with Chipotle. I'm like, Barrett, We're talking about Spider-Man. He's
I
like, all right.
I took notes for the show.
Yeah,
I have notes.
They're in a Word doc, all fancy and shit.
Yeah,
I don't read anything.
New 52 Batman is fucking amazing. Like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo are like I think the best duo in comic book writing and just comic book making right now in that industry. So I'm very excited. Like, look out for DC Metal. They are like the front runners on like making DC Metal. So I'm very excited for that. I don't know where it is in like the fucking lore or timeline or all that shit because none of it makes sense. But they're just really great storytellers, and Greg Capullo's art style is just fucking amazing.
I just bought all the Overwatch comic books, and
They have comic books?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
and I haven't read them yet, but because I'm actually waiting on the physical release. They're doing a continuum of all of them, so I'll be buying that when it comes out because obviously I love Overwatch so goddamn much.
I'm looking at some of my other comics over here. I got, besides the New 52 Batman Hush is a really good series.
I've read that.
Batman, The Long Halloween, and Dark Victory are good, like sort of 1-2 punch. That's like a sort of one long story in 2 parts. And that's really all I have over there. Dark Knight Returns. No, not the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Returns, though. What an unbelievable.
Oh, no, that is the
story.
good one. I was thinking about the Dark Knight Strikes Back, which is awful. That's the sequel to Dark Knight Returns. It is really bad.
Oh, is that the new one that he wrote?
No, that was
no, there's like...
that was like the Dark Knight Ultimate Race or something. It was something dumb. But that was his sequel that came out in like 2001. It was really, really bad. I forget the author, but he is just
Frank Miller.
Yes, he is significantly just gotten worse and worse with like writing and stuff. And that's not just me. Like a bunch of people also just think that. And then Mara also asks, have you checked out Glow yet? Love me some Alison Brie and Mark Maron. I'm 4 episodes in and fucking loving it. You talked about
I liked
that.
it. I'm excited to watch more of it.
Logan Wilkinson at Lefty Loggy. Shout out to you. Y'all hyped for that new Crash game? Because you should be.
Not at all.
I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. Because I played a lot of Warps when I was a kid. So, like, I'm whatever. Like, I never played 1. I think I played a little bit of 2. But, like, Warps, I played that a lot. So I'm, like, excited even just for Warps. Like, I'll probably play the other 2 for, like, shits and giggles and, like, just to beat it. I won't, like, 100% and, like, do all the speed trials or whatever. But I think, like, I'll play through 1. I'll play through 2. I'll play a shit ton of 3, but you know, on that journey, I'll get some cool trophies or whatever. So yeah,
I played Spyro before I played Crash.
So that
Can't
ruined
go
it for
back.
you. Yeah,
No way. Spyro is a
I
significantly better
remember
game.
my one interaction with Spyro, and this was like I was really little, so I didn't really play video games. I was at someone's. Like, I was being babysat, like, not by a regular. It was, like, my mom's boyfriend's mom's place or something. Totally legit. And they had a PS1 there. I never interacted with a PS1 before. And so this was before I even played Crash or anything. And they had Spyro, the first one. And, you know, on the start screen, it says press start to play. I didn't know what the start button was.
That's devastating.
And so, like, I was looking at the controller. I was like, I don't know. I know the N64 stuff. I don't know this. I didn't figure it out, and then I fell asleep. And that's my one interaction with
Sounds like
Spyro.
the Barrett Courtney story.
I didn't figure it out, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Ryan Marshall at Ride Dizzle said we should talk about Ron Howard. We did that a little bit. Brandon Williams at J3 on his Twitter handle cuts off. What makes a game worth a complete remaster for you guys? When Sony revealed Shadow at E3, it got me thinking about how I'd loved a Blood Rain remaster.
Why? Oh God!
And that's our last question of the show.
I don't know. I obviously from a money standpoint, they're gonna remaster any game they think they could turn a profit on.
But for us, what do you think of it? Like, what makes it worth it for you? Like something getting a remaster?
I think games that we still talk about 10 years later.
Yeah, I think
or like
games
staples
that,
in generation.
Yeah, I think games that like have a place, like a solid place in history.
Yeah,
right?
in history.
Like, yeah, because like
I want an Ape Escape remaster.
Yeah,
and that might happen because that was the first game to ever force you to use a dual analog. I think, or it was like one of the first.
Yeah. And that's so like I honestly think like Crash does make that list because even though like Crash isn't like
It
great.
was the
but
first
it's still,
mascot for PlayStation.
It was the big mascot, and everybody knows that. So I think like Crash does.
People are also asking for it.
Yeah, a lot of people. Like
I haven't thought about Blood Rain in 10 years.
Yeah, wasn't that like really bad?
No, I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't know how old he is, but if he's around my age, that was a cool game.
Okay.
That a lot of my friends liked. Having the benefit of hindsight, it was not a good game. And then, like, it was really cool because you could totally dismember people in the second one.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to have a Soul Reaver Blood Omen remake.
I would love to have a Tony Hawk Underground remaster because they're not going to be able to make new ones because they're just going to be bad.
No, I think you could still go back and play that game, though. I mean, like, the controls and everything, like, they're not... The graphics are good enough to where you could still get away with playing that game, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I want a Skate remaster.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think, like, to make it worth it, I think it's, like, yeah, it has to have, like, a good staple in the history of video games. So, like, yeah, Shadow definitely deserves that because everybody talks about how it's, like, one of the greatest games of all time for the time because it's unplayable right now. Yeah. I played it way too late, and I was like, this game does not make any sense, and I just could never play it. So I'm excited for this remaster because it looks like just an entire new remake.
Yeah, they're rebuilding the game.
Yeah, they're rebuilding it. So, like, hopefully the controls will be better this time around.
I think if you look at
like
the
a little more
remasters
modernized,
that we have, like, in this generation, Last of Us didn't need it, but they were cashing in on the fact that they knew that a lot of people didn't have PlayStation 3s.
Yeah.
BioShock's
and it was smart because,
necessary.
like, I didn't own a PS3, and so I was thankful that, like, Last of Us, like, had that, Yeah, I think it was weird, like, especially with this generation, how early so many games were getting, like,
And, like,
sort
some
of
games that,
remasters.
like Devil May Cry 4
Yeah.
got a remake.
God
Like,
of War
what?
3 got a remaster.
Like, what?
It
The
was
fuck?
really weird.
You're not going to bring them all back? You're just going to bring back
like
God of War?
The third one.
3? Ugh. But it's
Ratchet
because they
and
knew
Clank
they were
was
making
like
a
a
new
cool
one.
like remake, like where it sort of like rebooted the series in a way.
Yeah.
And you got like, you didn't need to do it, but like Return to Arkham, like I'm thankful for that because those are my favorite games of all time.
That was again like a cash grab.
It definitely was, and like a lot of people have a lot of complaints about like, oh, the original looks better or whatnot. It doesn't. There are some character models that don't look super great, but overall the remaster does look better because it's in the new engine, like it's in the Arkham Knight engine, and that engine is just fucking amazing. So I don't know what engine they use, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, for me though, you're right. It has to have a
good staple.
A good
and
staple.
For me, the Arkham games do have a very solid staple because they're fucking great.
I don't think any PlayStation 3 game deserved a remaster, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because you could just go back and play it on PlayStation 3. You could buy PlayStation 3 for like fucking $70 and go back and play it. I don't know. For someone, I don't know who those are for.
Yeah.
Because like I beat Arkham when Arkham came out, and I beat BioShock when BioShock came out. And like I understand why they did
I like
The Last of
replaying
Us.
games because we're very different.
I
on that.
don't like
you
replaying
consume
games.
a piece of media and then you never consume it again, except for music, where you just get super obsessive with it and listen to it over and over again. It's the only medium that you do that with.
Yeah,
I do that with literally every medium.
Yeah,
I read comics over again. I read I listen to music over again. I read books and watch movies and play games because of my attachment to those pieces of media, and like also like trying to find something new, a different angle or whatnot. And sometimes I'm just like, I need that junk. I need like my comfort food,
Yeah.
So like, we made fun of Dornbush earlier, but like Kingdom Hearts is definitely like his fucking comfort food. He's played those games so many fucking times. But he's gonna keep
I do that with Metal Gear.
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
understand it. I beat Metal Gear every year.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, I'll play fucking Arkham Asylum, Arkham City probably like once a year, maybe once every 2 years. Like I'll read the Harry Potter series like once a year. The Harry Potter is more of the better example where I'm trying to find like different angles and whatnot. So,
yeah.
But anyway, those were the final questions of the show. But we got a couple of iTunes reviews, and we said we would read these. And someone reviewed us back in April, and we never did. We never read it. So
sorry, Fred. It was Fred.
Fred reviewed us, and he said, the headline is knowledgeable, funny, and passionate. This is a sweet one right here. These dudes do great work. They have the knowledge of the topics they discuss and keep the topics interesting with their opinions and personalities. Dull moments are few and far between, as they are some interesting people. 5 stars.
I could read that like Fred actually would. Hold on. These dudes, they do great work. They have knowledge on their topics and and discuss keep the topics interesting with their opinions and personalities. Fred's really monotone. I love him though.
I'm not too sure who this next review is, but they left this review last Monday. I'm reviewing this podcast is the headline. This is a good podcast. I like this podcast a lot. Not as much as I like dogs, but like, come on. That's not a realistic standard. 5 stars. Could use more dog. 5 stars.
And just because of that, we have this
dog.
Imagine I just pulled a dog out.
Yo, that'd be dope. You'd be the best magician ever.
Where'd you keep that dog for an hour and a half, Sean? It's hot in here. All right, what time is it? Wait, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I have another podcast.
We're at 4:30.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sorry, I'm just checking the time on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'm at Sean Twisters. Make sure you follow Barrett on Twitter. He's at Banandler Arg. And he's at Banandler Chung.
Yeah, there you go.
I have an eye patch for you in my pocket.
I was
make
hoping
sure
you
you
were just happy
review
to
us.
see me.
Make sure you review us on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. This week I'm on Pockets Full of Soup, so go over to Jared's podcast and give that a listen to.
And we're also shout out on, I don't know if it's this month, but we're going to be on some monthly exclusive for Patreon. So if you're a Patreon supporter, come listen to both of us talk to Jared. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about, if we're allowed to say.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Make sure you guys support Jared. He is the best. Go listen to my very sad story. Apparently it's way sadder than I thought it was going to be.
It's because you're not on the outside looking in.
Yeah. For me,
you
it's
lived
like
it.
Yeah. I was just my life was.
Yeah.
But go listen to my life story. We got some stuff coming very soon. You guys are gonna very soon. You guys will be able to help us make Zero Life better.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to share that with you. It'll probably be up in the next 2 weeks or so.
Yep. So
it's not a Patreon. We're not starting a Patreon.
God no.
But make sure you
We're not
guys.
smart enough for
Thank
that.
you guys for the support. But until next time, Barrett, hit the music. Post Barrett. Barrett in the future. Past Barrett.
Yo, Phil from the future though.
That just sucked.